So yeah, I remember seeing this post a little while ago. Caption says the U.S. city employees tell a woman her garbage can is too heavy, and they can't pick it up. Otherwise, they might get hurt. And there's a little thing that says garbage men refuse to help mom. Sound like some UK shit. Anyway, so yeah, set the scene. Salute to all the sanitation workers out there. They do the job society, a lot of people in society don't want to do. But apparently, there's a policies. Well, it's the OSHA standards that some cities have, or some some, I guess you would say the cities have incorporated. There needs to be a maximum weight, or else they can't. They don't want the workers lifting it, which I assume is for safety purposes. Although I thought most cities have the things that lift up the things, but maybe if you have a trash can that don't fit the mold of the trash truck can pick up, then the guy has to do it by hand. So, in light of that, I guess an alternative would be that the people themselves have to take out their own trash. And somebody got on video an example of just that, where a woman had to do the job because the garbage man refused to do it. Let's look at how that played out.
Do you guys care if I put them in? This is the second week you haven't taken them. They're getting kind of gross.
Say that again?
Can I dump them in then?
Sure.
With the baby.
Nah, that's crazy. That's actually wow. The baby crying, yo. That's
Dog, it was multiple ones too. That one ain't even full.
It's too heavy.
This is embarrassing.
Man, we're not sexist on this podcast, or at least we try that to be. But this is definitely one of those, like, when a woman has to take it by her own hands and do a man's job. So, yeah, you can see in the video. We might play back some of the parts. Like I said, and they said it's in Pittsburgh, so that specifies the location. These sanitation workers were out there, and apparently, the woman walked out and said, "Can you take care of the trash? You guys didn't take it for the last 2 weeks or within the last week or so." And they were like, "Hey, it's too heavy. The rules are the rules." And then they're like, "All right, so then can I do it?" And then, as you can see, the woman proceeds to come out of her crib, put the baby, the literal toddler, on the grass, and take it into her own hands, literally. I don't want to say easily, but clearly lifting up the trash that the garbage man said were too heavy, and proceeding to take out the trash. And this raised a lot of, like, everyone and their mom had an opinion on this. If you try to even begin to scroll down, I'm pretty sure a lot of people were, slandering the garbage men for not taking care of the job. All the men out there backing those women handily tossed it into the truck. You're all lost. No, strike that. You never had a man card. Damn. But someone else, they said the cans have a limit for a reason. Follow the rules. But it definitely raised a back and forth about, like, at the end of the day, what's more important? Helping out, people, especially like a woman that's literally trying to just, take care of her kids, or do you follow the rules of your job above everything? So I guess basically, like, what do y'all make of the situation like this? Do you think the garbage men, the sanitation workers, were out of bounds? And do you think it's wrong that they basically put the rules of their job above helping others like this? And in a sense, does this make men look bad? What do you think, Ghost?
like real. I'm sure they have reasons for the weight limit. I'm sure that they have backing if they got a complaint, like they didn't have to do this. It's like, come on, like common sense. Like she got a baby there. Like, come on, bro. Unless you have the worst back pain in the world and one wrong step and you're gonna get a herniated disc or something, maybe I get it. But it's like, come
Well, the
on,
company
realistically.
policies are probably for that purpose, so they ensure that their workers never get this gross
Again,
back
like
pain.
technically they have a leg to stand on, but it's like if you're being realistic, like you're being an actual human being, like take the trash. Like it's kind of like I get not picking it up initially if it's over the weight limit, but if she's outside and she's like asking you to do it, it's like just do it. Like what? Just do it. That's really all I gotta say. Just do it. Like, come on now. What are we doing here?
Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, I suppose it is just that simple for a lot of people. I mean, at the end of the day, like when you know, it's one thing to like try to adhere to the policies to the best of your ability, but if worse comes to shove, push comes to shove, and you actually see a Samaritan asking to help you with that when they're dealing with their own life, you might be inclined to help them. So you would say it makes them look bad.
Uh, I'm not like gonna kill him for it, but it kind of makes you look bad. Like, it is what it is.
Fair enough, fair enough. What about you, Ace? What do you make of this? Do you think at the end of the day you do got to put the rules of your job above helping others?
Um, kind of like it's not necessarily the rules of the job. It's more so like your safety. So
Yeah, the rules of the job are to prevent accidents for your
yeah,
safety.
but I mean, there might be some rules of your job that's like overkill. Like I'm good. Like I can handle this. Um, so in that way, I'm saying like it's more so your comfort. Your comfort level is another um, indication as well with performing a dangerous task. Um,
I think I actually should. Are you saying like it would make a difference of like it's a rule of the job, and if you do this, you'll get punished, opposed to this is like the policy that you don't have to do something if you don't want to, or something like that.
yeah, what I'm saying is in this particular situation, the rule for the weight limit is to avoid injury. So if if you feel that doing this thing is going to have a very high likelihood of injuring you, um, and there's already a rule in place that says you don't have to do it, adhering to that rule does make sense. But and that's what I'm saying, like that's going to be the impetus, or the way that any like worker, I would think, would go about um approaching an unsafe task. Like if it's something that the job already says I'm not supposed to be doing, and I don't feel comfortable doing it, I'm not going to do it. I'm more likely to do it if I'm still comfortable with it.
Yeah.
um and yeah, like I'm kind of thinking of this in terms of my position I work in the past, where I was working at height. And
You definitely have some dangerous jobs.
yeah, yeah, and there's stuff that I have done that, looking back on it, I'm like, I shouldn't have I shouldn't have even done some of the stuff I've done, and I wouldn't encourage anybody else to do it. Even though like it it would have became an
Wait, did
impediment
somebody ask you
to.
to take down the Christmas lights while you were up on the roof? What are you
No,
talking
no,
about?
no. Getting on the roof, like just getting on the roof itself. The Yeah, the danger level that some jobs put you in, without any type of oversight, can be kind of wild. So, yeah, just from that perspective, like it is definitely a consideration, as far as like making sure whatever you're doing as safely as possible, and that you're at your, you know, somewhat comfortable. Like there's stuff you're gonna do that put you outside that comfort, but um, at least to the point where you there's a high probability you're not gonna injure yourself. But this is like it does make them look bad. The mainly because the mom came out and did it. Um, like she basically, it looks like she proved that there shouldn't really be an issue with it. When you do consider that they are repeatedly lifting,
Yeah, the difference between taking
day
out
in day out.
one or two trash bins opposed to taking out every heavy trash bin that's on the
Yeah,
block.
right, exactly. Um, and you consider that there's still a higher risk of injury for them due to the repetitiveness of the task. Um, like you can still kind of go both ways on it, I think, or at least I can kind of see both sides. Um, but
You know, the interesting part,
ultimately, oh, go ahead.
if it do have a rule that if it's too heavy you can't lift it, wouldn't you just implement a rule like have two people lift it?
That's a big one. That's a big one. That's what I was gonna say. Like it is kind of more so on the garbage collecting company to provide the tools or whatever methods to be able um to complete the task, because the trash still needs to be taken out. So um whatever that takes, whether it's outfitting the trucks with the right fork thing to be able to handle the trash cans, or like you said, allocating a third person or whatever to be able to actually get the to lift those heavier trash cans. Like it's it's on the company more so than the workers. um but yeah, it is still like it still looks kind of goofy just from a average person perspective, I think.
So obviously a lot of people would agree with y'all in the sense that it does make them look bad. I don't think this really needs to expand out to men in general. I think people that run with this and say that this is why we need women to run the world because men, no, we don't need that. You're getting too crazy. But if you do subscribe to it, this does make them look bad. What about the thought process? And we kind of touched on the repetitiveness of it. Say like they do say, and we all do agree it does look a little sad when the moms come out bare feet and they put the kid on the grass and the kid's crying and they gotta lift the trash can and they lift it up easily or relatively easily and they got two big ass grown men that are talking about too heavy. But what if they did decide, okay, you know what? You're right, you got a lot going on. This is our job, we'll do it real quick. They bang it out and then they go over to the next house or down the street and they come across another trash can that's looking. I also kind of want to ask, how do you think they measure it? Because how do they determine if the trash can is too heavy? Do they like try to lift it? Because if they try to lift it, they could lift it because obviously the woman lifted it. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, but then so they get down the street and then they identify another one and they're like, okay, so let's not do this one. But then the person comes up to the house and say, hey, wait a minute, I just saw you lift up the one for that woman down the street. Why aren't you taking mines? What would you
All
say
you
to
gotta
that?
do is lie and say that yours is heavier than hers.
Well, I guess you could lie and be immoral, but I mean, realistically
Come
speaking, and
on,
like,
now, realistically speaking, that's what I would do in that situation because I wouldn't feel like getting wrapped up in a whole discussion about it.
okay, and then a person like me can come on and say, how do you know it's too heavy? Did you measure the trash can? I didn't see you got pull out a weight. How do you know it's too heavy? And how do you know
And
it's
then
heavier than
I
hers?
and then I make up some BS about I don't know how they even test this. Like I'm guessing like they try to lift it initially, and if they can't use it with X amount of weight approximately, if it's too difficult to move easily, then that's how they gauge it. I
I
don't
mean,
know
what is
how
the
they
metric
do
of
it.
too difficult to move?
I don't know,
I
man.
think they would have
Like
to. I think they would have to have a standard, like if like, because like how on some resumes they would say you have to be able to lift like 50 pounds or something like that. So I would think it's like that if the thing weighs more than a certain amount, but you do have to like test that. So it is kind of a conundrum in that sense.
yeah, I'm not sure how they would test or how they would check it, but like honestly, whatever metrics they use, I would say yours is heavier, and next time don't stack it as high or stack it that much. And
I think if you do that, you're putting yourself in a position where you're gonna get in all our arguments with a lot of civilians wanting you to take out their trash.
I don't care, bro. I'm already taking out trash. I got nothing to lose, bro. Like,
First of all,
you can report me. Like,
salute to all, and you definitely have something to lose. Salute to all the sanitation workers. That's a good ass job. Don't let no one tell you otherwise. What about you, Ace? Do you think there's a what would you say to that conundrum or that position? Or if you do it for one, then you gotta do it for everyone. Damn, stumped them.
Yeah, I would. It would just come down to I'm not doing it, and we would move on. The person would be yelling. Maybe they'd still be yelling as we pull away, but yeah, we're just moving on. I'm not wasting it.
What if they take some of the rotten eggs out of the trash can and throw it at the truck?
Yeah,
I'm getting out of the truck and we backing that shit up, and I'm taking some trash out the truck and then dumping it on your front.
All right, now you guessing. Now you gonna be fighting with the person over the trash. Give me trash find all over the place.
Realistically, I'm driving off fast enough that they wouldn't be able to get those rotten eggs out. And next time,
Them trash trucks don't go too fast, or they
I
shouldn't be going
wouldn't care
too
about
fast.
no rotten eggs on the trash truck.
Well, I'm just okay. A rotten tomato or
something.
something.
I don't care. But next week, I just won't pick up their trash, and I'll say that it's too heavy again.
Man, that's why I always say you gotta respect sanitation workers, because let one of them be spiteful, and next thing you know, your trash is piling up for a few weeks.
You're screwed.
But yeah. Even though it's super unfortunate and it makes those guys look bad, and that even brings up a conversation about like this is like just the video of the not even week of the day of some internet like conversation about something that was caught on camera. It's like somebody can probably identify those brothers, and now those guys. Hey man, I was on. I guess people from the hood ain't on Reddit, but hey man, I was on the gram the other day, and was this you that did help this lady with her trash? And now you're an internet persona of sorts.
You know what would be a crazy plot twist is if the city doesn't actually have a limit and they were just lazy.
Hey man, to be honest, yeah, this type of thing could make its way to like the city council, but then the city would fight back and say, "Hey, we're trying to protect our workers." So I don't know. It's ever going back and forth. And honestly, while you were talking about alternative solutions, Ace, I was thinking somebody's gonna make a case. Well, if we really want to protect the employees, why don't we just bring in androids to do the job? Could that be?
Shout out Tesla.
Next thing you know,
So they dump that trash. The android screws up and dumps the trash on your front yard. I don't know.
well, I think by the time we have androids that can take out trash, I think they'll be able to do it sufficiently to the point with little to no error. And then they try to implement that in every city, and next thing you know, we have X amount of workers that are out of work. Ew. Anyway, depressing potential future aside, I guess it's one of those things where if you can, you try to do your best to help out others, especially others that are literally in need until they don't have to put their babies on the ground. But you still try to abide by your policy to the best of your ability. And I always hope that you're not being put on camera so you're warned by the internet. That's definitely the moral story. But there's nothing else. We can move on to the next topic.